Hi, and welcome to How to Thrive in a Stressful World. I've put this together just to try and share how we as chiropractors work, but also tips that you can do yourself that will leave you less stressed and less tight and less anxious and will help you get better quicker under chiropractic care. The world itself now and the people in this world now are getting so stressful and so worked up that even walking down the street now people will feel a sense of stress in their bodies that isn't necessary. So I'm going to start from the beginning, because to understand how stress works we have to understand how the body works. So our body should be self-regulating and self-healing. That is, if we put the right stuff into it, move and allow rest and sleep, it should be able to fix whatever's going on. Our body knows that when it's too cold, it shivers to warm up. It knows that when it's too tired, it tells you to go to sleep. It knows that when you are feeling really panicked, to make you hyperventilate, so you lie down, so you can control your breathing again. You know, it's really clever. And whenever it's left alone to do these things, it works quite well. The problem is nowadays, most of us are living in a stress response, and that is keeping the body in this big fighting reaction where it goes until it burns out. When we are in an active fight or flight response, our body cannot repair. It cannot be in growth at the same time as defense. Defense is that shoulders up, arms up, I'm ready to fight or flight or run away. You know, I'm ready to go. Relax and response is when you're sleeping, when you're enjoying yourself, when you're letting go. That's when your body repairs itself. The problem nowadays, our balance is gone. We're stuck more in that fight or flight and less in that rest and repair. So what controls these things? Our body's controlled by the nervous system. That is the brain and the nerves. Senses what's going on in the environment, like I'm standing here now. It senses whether I should be scared, whether I should be running, whether I should feel relaxed, and mounts a response to that. The problem nowadays is the body doesn't know the difference from a bear standing beside me to a deadline that needs to get met. It has the same response, it has the same stress response in the body. That is okay for a short period of time. We can sit in stress for a short period of time, and it is very useful because we get things done. We run away from that bear that's behind us because otherwise we'll get eaten. But nowadays we'll get our deadlines done, we'll get to work on time, we'll get the kids dropped off, but your body should then go into a relaxed state and repair anything that's happened during that stress response. And then it gets on as normal again. Then it can mount a stress response and then go back relaxed. It should always be this kind of pendulum swaying from side to side. We're never really static. We're in one or the other. And it's as important to not be stuck in rest and relaxation all the time either, because we would never do anything. We would just lie around. We wouldn't actually have any enthusiasm to get things done. And that's actually where we see a lot of people who are in chronic burnout. It's not that they're completely relaxed, their body has just switched off and they don't want to do anything anymore. So what's a stress response look like? I'm sure if I asked you, you would be able to tell me. But I'm going to go from head to feet and try and so I can remember what's going on with the different, because it has loads of different responses, but these are the main ones that we normally have or normally realise. So as I say, if you're rushing to work in the car, you'll have most of these. So your blood pressure goes up, pump more blood around the body to get blood to these muscles to get them to go. Your senses are heightened, as in you can see things moving, like someone pulls out in front of you, you can see them. A child goes to walk off a step, you can catch them quickly. Your sense of smell is heightened, your eyes are heightened, so you find bright lights can be too annoying. Lights in the night time can be too glaring in your eyes. That is a huge sign of adrenal overload, because your body's kind of going, I have to see what's going on, I have to see what's going on everywhere, and it can't relax. Your posture tends to do this, you know, getting ready to either run or fight. So your whole body tends to go forwards like this, and then people just get tired and they end up like this here. As I say, your blood pressure, your heart beats faster, you breathe quicker. The but you breathe up here rather than full, deep, relaxed breaths down here. So it can get more oxygen to the body, but not good quality or deep breathing oxygen. So it's kind of fast bursts. Your stomach acid goes up to break down food quicker, so you can get it to your muscles to get you to run away from danger. But in the long term, your digestive system slows down. So after your stomach, your bowels, it slows down. So a lot of people can become constipated or don't even need to go. Because when you're running away from that bear behind you, you have no time to stop and go to the toilet. You also have no time to get pregnant or have a baby whenever there's a bear running behind you. Because you, in the past, when you're running from danger, your body wouldn't have had time to stop and give birth. One of the biggest things we're seeing nowadays is unexplained infertility, where people just don't know why they can't get pregnant. They're otherwise healthy, their hormones are fine, their levels are fine, everything's working properly, but it's not, because their body's in a stress response inside and innately and in survival mode. It's really, really difficult to get pregnant. One of the big side effects we see from getting adjusted regularly is people are able to have babies and conceive naturally without as much bother. But it says as a side effect, we don't advertise that because we can't, but with the stress response you can help that. As far down as here then, everything kind of stops. The muscles in themselves at the very start will work better, so they'll be strong, they'll be able to do almost superhuman things. Like you hear people, like mums lifting cars, or they to get kids out of cars and things like that, but over time it can't sustain it. So you end up, when someone is first in the stress response, you get this going on. And then after a couple of weeks, your body's going, oh my God, I'm so tired. You know, the muscles, they need to stay tight, but I'm so tired. So then they burn out and they get really weak. And that's when you see a chronic tension through here, but no actual strength if you went to use the muscles. That's the stress response. So as I say, really, really useful when you're running away from that bear for like 10-15 minutes until you can hide. Not full term, every day go. Your body will burn out, and it does eventually. But now that we know these tips, you'll be able to correct a certain amount of that. The first bit is really figuring out that, one, that you're in active fight or flight, and two, how to change it. Again, we're going to talk through that today. Because most people are stressed, they don't even know they're stressed. They're like, oh yeah, I go to sleep, I'm fine. But they don't really. They go to sleep and they toss and turn all night and they feel tired all the time and they're irritable and they're snappy and they're just not having any fun. That's a stress response. So, what causes a stress response? Most of you in here are holistic therapists or have heard of the physical, chemical and emotional aspects to every condition. And we see that in chiropractic practice as well. You rarely come in because you've just lifted something and your shoulder's gone. You know, that is probably what caused it in that point. But for months and years before that, your body has tightened and tightened and tightened, and it was that one wee thing that set it up. So physical, it's all the things you think of physically. It's your posture. It's how you hold yourself. It's how you stand. It's how you sit. It's how you go to lift things. If you go to lift things like this, you're going to hurt yourself, without a doubt. It's habits that have been ingrained into us from our parents, from our grandparents. We actually watch them as we grow up. And a really useful thing for those of you who have children, watch how you're standing and sitting and acting around them, because they subconsciously pick up how to hold themselves by watching you. Has anyone ever heard of a Dowger's hump in the back of the neck here? How many people have heard it's hereditary? It's not hereditary. You have, if you have it, either have a really bad posture through something you're doing now, or you have watched your mother, normally your mother, could have been your father, a mother or a grandmother holding themselves like this, and you've copied them, because that's what we do as kids. We emulate what we're doing, like our elders and our older brothers and sisters, to find out how we're supposed to react in the world. So it's one thing you can change straight away if you have kids. Hold yourself up a bit straighter when you're beside them. It'll make you do it, knowing that you're going to be helping them in the future. The other thing is habits. We all have habits of sitting with our legs crossed, sitting on a wallet, carrying a bag on one side, holding ourselves like this or like this. These are all things that you do, and if you actually look at a day of your life, there's probably about 20 of them that you do. So just be aware of them. I'm not saying go and change them all straight away, but if you hold your bag on this side all the time, just change it to the other side every so often. If you always cross your leg to the left, just change it every so often. Or tuck your legs under you, or sit on one leg. You know, I'm not saying sit like this all the time, because you won't be able to sustain it when your body is in a tightened state. We have to relax it first of all, and then strengthen it, and then teach it new habits. Now, the big one, emotional. The one no one ever wants to talk about. Well, actually, this is changing. People are talking more about emotions now and mental health, and how that has such a huge effect on how we live and also how we act. For years here, especially in the male population, you were told to put your head down and get on with it. That's changing, thank goodness. The emotional aspects of diseases and of stress response are mostly relationship-wise. So the relationship you have with your parents, your relationship you have with your husband or wife, with your children, your relationship at work. If there's stress in any of those, even if it's little silly things that started years ago and now has just become so annoying that every time, say, you go into work, you think, oh, I'm going into work. That is enough to tell your body over and over and over again, you're stressed, you need to run from that bear, you need to run from this situation. And then when you're sitting in it, you're almost saying to your body, oh, this is normal, I'll just have to get on with it. So you're sitting in a kind of a stress response all the time, and then you go home and you don't understand why you're so tired. Or you go to work and you don't understand why you're so tired because, you know, you haven't spoke to your husband properly in ages, or you haven't been out in ages, or you're fighting with your kids. You know, there's so many different things that can go on in the emotional aspect. The chemical one then is what most people know. It's what we eat and drink and an environment around us. Everybody knows these and pretend they don't. Things like your water intake. If you're not drinking enough water, your body is going to be like a shriveled, dehydrated thing. So your muscles are going to be tighter anyway. So that's one top tip, is just drink more water. It'll help you a lot. Getting the vitamins and minerals you need every day. If you don't have your fruit and vegetables every day, please have a multivitamin. You'll get everything you need in a good multivitamin. Caffeine. I will put my hand up and say I love coffee, but I try to restrict it to 2 cups a day and then have loads of water in between and afterwards. Because even though I know I like the taste of it and I know it's not good for me, drinking it makes me a little bit happier. Also, drinking the water helps to flush out any caffeine that's in there and any effect it has on my body. Alcohol is the same. I'm never saying to give up anything, but try not to drink any in excess. If you have it, just have water with it, you know, so it helps your body just flush out the badness of it, really. Fizzy drinks is another one. Lovely for your body, nice every so often, but if you're taking them all the time, for one, they have a load of sugar in it, and two, the carbon dioxide and things, they just don't affect your body in the right way. Also, non-sugar or diet drinks are worse than the sugar ones. The aspartame and the sucralose and the artificial flavouring does more damage to your body than the sugar. Sugar in itself is bad and changes your body makeup. For one, you put on weight, but also it changes how your body works. It becomes more addictive personality. So sugar is a good one to reduce, again, especially in children. The environment's a bit harder to change. So now, because there are so many things like Wi-Fi, phone masts and electric plants everywhere, it's harder to shield ourselves from these things. There's different things you can get, like there's a little biodot you can get to wear on your wrist. You can put it on your Wi-Fi box, you can put it on your router, sorry. You can put it on your phone, you know, that can help change some of the rays. Generally, if your body is very strong and you're looking after it, that shouldn't affect you as much. So, in saying what causes the stress response, now we say how to fix it. So, the first one, as I say, posture, habits, try to change them slightly. Try to stand up a bit straighter. You won't want to stand straight all day, you won't be able to. So at the start, all you do is just roll shoulders back and then go back into what you're doing. So if you see me from the side here, if I'm sitting on a computer, it's really hard to sit like this. You tend to do this after a while, or do this, even worse. Every half an hour, every 20 minutes or 15 minutes at the start, if you want, just roll your shoulders and go back to what you're doing. Roll your shoulders again, go back to what you're doing. Every 15 minutes. After a while, your body will get used to this kind of pattern of moving. And it'll become quite fidgety. As you can see, when I'm moving, I like to move my hands a lot. It's really, really useful because it helps your body remember that it's supposed to move. When you sit for a long time or stand any position for a long time, your body gets used to knowing that's normal, which again is why a lot of people do this, because they're always on their phone, you know. So we just need to break that habit a little bit. Roll your shoulders every so often, move your neck, go like this, stretch when you get up in the morning, move, exercise, walk, breathe. A lot of people breathe up here, breathe down here. Again, you don't have to do it in every breath, but say just before going to bed, take a few deep breaths when you're lying down on your pillow. Put your hand here and here and try to move this bottom hand. So try and breathe in without this hand moving, and that will just expand your rib cage and let it relax. Emotional, biggie, try and fix any relationships that are bothering you. I know that is a huge one, and I know a lot of people say if they're not happy at work, aren't in the position to leave. But either try and correct the problem or cut your cords from it. So if you really can't correct it, say for example something like work, and you can't leave work at the minute. And say for example you have another thing that you like to do, like you have a job or you have your own business that you're trying to create. Put all your energy into that at the minute. Think about that, get excited about that, and go to work. Put your head down, just try and figure out what's going on. Try not to interact with the people that bother you, and just let it go. A really, really good meditation, I suppose you would call it, or visualization, is when you're in the car in the morning or a bus or wherever, just before you get to wherever the problem is, imagine yourself in a big golden bubble of light. I may sound crazy, this works, this is really, really good. So just imagine yourself in a big bubble, and anybody that annoys you, say it's your boss, every time you see them, just imagine little arrows like they're pinging at you, just pinging back at them. And that's like their energy. So just let that, it's nothing to do with you, just let it go, and just imagine yourself in that bubble of protection. And that will help you a lot, but you have to remember to do that every day. And you may even find by lunchtime you think, oh, I think it's gone down a bit. Imagine it again, visualize it again. Anytime anything's bothering you, at home, at work, family, anything, bubble, 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 bubble. And just protect yourself. Because everybody's got if they've got enough of their own stuff going on, you don't need to take on anybody else's stuff. And it is people like myself who are more empathetic. You want to help people all the time, and you want to look after people, and you want to try to help everybody. But you'll find a lot of the people who want help and are coming to you all the time, they don't really want to help you or give anything back, so you just do what you need to do. Obviously when people come in, I do help them, you know, it's not that, but you do see people that are like energy vampires. They're not normally anything to do with work, it's normally family. They're always coming to you and moaning and having problems, and sometimes you just need to say, look, I can't see you today, I'm going to go for a walk, do something I enjoy. You know, that's a big one. Another biggie and another emotional aspect is being yourself. So many of us, including myself, for years, weren't sure of who they were, what they wanted to do, how they were supposed to dress, how they were supposed to act around people. It took me a long time to realise being yourself is really, really important. You grow up emulating other people. I came out of uni as a chiropractor, watching people wear, you know, like dress clothes, so blouse, nice fancy trousers, fancy shoes, sometimes heels. I couldn't even walk in heels. And I came out wearing the same and realised I was really uncomfortable. I couldn't work properly. I didn't like it, but I thought that's how I was supposed to dress. So I changed how I dress, and you can see now I wear more gym clothes, which I find really, really comfortable. Gives people I'm more relaxed. You get a better adjustment because I'm more relaxed and I'm more myself. So I've let my guard down a bit in the last few years. You'll hear me giggling, you'll hear me laughing. I'm here to have fun, I love my job, but also to make you comfortable. So that's a big one. Find out who you are. What do you enjoy? One big thing that can help you is just finding something that you enjoy doing. It may be walking, it may be a hobby like sewing, anything. And do that more often by yourself. Make some time for you. That is a huge one. Be yourself, make time for you. I say this really funnily because I've only started doing this, but really, really important. And find a purpose. Find something you want to strive towards and enjoy. Now this can be a hobby. For most people it's their job. They really want to do something, they really want to help people. If you're in the more creative industry, you really want to make things that make people happy. Find that purpose and do more of that. That will change you more than anything else, more than your posture, more than the things you eat. That will change you. You will find people who are on purpose and doing something they enjoy are way more relaxed and way less stressed than people who are on a path for something they don't want. One of the biggest things we see in people that are coming to me in chronic pain is they're not being congruent with their life. They've gone into a job because they thought it's a good job, been told by the teachers it was a good job, and they were making money, and they've got money and they've got a family and they're able to do stuff, but they're not happy and they're really, really tight because they're stuck in a stress response the whole time. The diet one or the chemical one is easy, do things or find things like a Biodot, or there's different little devices you can wear that help you and protect you against radiation. Try to cut down on sugar, try to drink more water, try to take vitamins and minerals or fruit and veg. Take something that will boost your body and make it work better. It needs all of these things to live properly and to fight things properly. So if there's loads of flus going around and you don't have enough vitamins in your body, you will get hit and your body will not be able to cope with it properly. Try to reduce the caffeine, try to reduce the fizzy drinks, try to reduce the alcohol. If you can't, just drink more water at the minute. You just need to make a change at the minute to let your body work as efficiently as it can. So what do we do as chiropractors? Many people now, through lovely social media, have seen what chiropractors do. Everybody works slightly differently. It's not all about the popping and clicking and cracking, which does happen in the adjustment, but that's not what it's about. What we do is we find the areas of stress on your spine and we release them through a really quick motion. That's where you normally hear the popping. What this does is like resetting your computer. It's like turn it off and on again. It resets your body at that segment and tells it to go back into the relaxed response rather than a stress response. Whenever you get up after an adjustment, the best way to describe it is your body kind of goes, it just lets go. You feel like your head's been lifted up a wee bit, that this big weight isn't on your shoulder. And it takes time to change and for you to become resilient in a nice straight posture again. But what we're doing over time is like exercising your body. We give you an adjustment and then another adjustment and another adjustment and another adjustment. Over time, your body starts to relax. So it comes out of this. So it starts to relax first and then it starts to strengthen. And when it starts to strengthen, not only will you have less pain and less stiffness and more mobility, you will become more resilient to other things. You will find things that have stressed you in the past will not stress you now because your body is strong and your mind is strong. You'll be able to cope with things better before you burn out. You'll be able to cope with things better before you get frustrated and cross, if that's the way people either go cross or cry. So your body just becomes way more resilient. You get lovely side effects as well of being able to switch off, being able to sleep, being able to have a good deep sleep where you wake up the next day and go, I'm ready for the day. Rather than dragging yourself out of bed. You become mobile, you become happier, you have less hospital visits, you have less sickness. There's so many things that chiropractic does and people don't realise. They think it's just for back pain. Because we work with that stress response, like I've said before and explained before, when your body goes back into that rest and restore state, it starts to fix itself. So it starts to fix itself physically, emotionally and chemically. You start to feel less pain, you start to relax, but your breathing gets better. Your heart rate drops down a little bit and relaxes, your blood pressure comes down. The stomach acid comes back to a normal rate. One of the biggest things we see, as well as sleep pattern changing, is people's reflux get better. We're not saying we can cure it. By taking down the stress response, the pH balance goes back to normal and you don't have reflux anymore. One of the biggest things we see in babies is reflux, and it's because of that stress response from normally the birth process. It's all very simple. We find where the stress is in the body, we reduce it, and your body takes care of everything else. It goes back into that self-healing mechanism, fixes everything that's going on. As long as you get, as I say, a good sleep, move it, and eat well. Put the right things in, the right fuel for your body to get better. So that's the easiest way to remember things, really. Eat well, move well, think well, be well. So those are the top tips to try and help you thrive in this stressful world. I hope you enjoy.